Could you talk about bringing in a guy like that and what you're trying to see from him?
Well, just an opportunity. I mean, Chris was made aware of the opportunity, and we talked about it, and we said, hey, it's a unique opportunity. He sort of understands our situation, and so we'll see how things go. I mean, obviously he's a talented player with a great pedigree, and we're honored as a club that he would consider our team, and so we'll see how things go this week, how it works for him, how it works for us.
Sunday's reserve game a possibility for him?
Yeah.
What does it mean about maybe MLS or this club that 3 years ago you're playing against Barcelona and now a player from that team is looking to play in MLS?
Well, I mean, it just shows the growth of the league and the recognition of the league around the world. People know what MLS is. Games are seen, all the time. I forget who was it? Was it Mario Martinez's agent was in Spain and said, he said, yeah, I saw your game against Chivas. I saw the win. So I mean, you don't expect MLS soccer to be on in Spain, but yet it was. And so I think there's more recognition for the league all the time, and people are aware of it, and they realize that it's you're in a stable economy, which is always nice because sometimes when your career moves on, you go into unstable situations. But it also shows that the quality of the play has gotten there where there's a good recognition factor.
What did you think of what you saw today?
It's tough. I mean, one practice, first day out, but I mean, you can tell he's a good player. You can tell by the touches and, the movement and so forth, So obviously players are players, and, everybody brings a different quality and a different dimension. He's a strong guy. He can post up, he can hold the ball, he finds his little options off of that. And, but for the first day, everybody's got to settle in. It's tough. It's tough traveling 13 hours. We know that when we went to Trinidad and then trying to play. So,
you've had experience in LA, Columbus, Seattle, kind of all across the markets. How does Seattle differ in recruiting players like this talent?
well, there's always, always when you're a European player, there's always the cities of New York and LA, are always attractive to those individuals because they know what New York is and know what Los Angeles is. Chicago sometimes enters that mix a little bit, and then Seattle now has entered the mix because of what we're doing from a standpoint of fans. I mean, people, look at it and say, wait a second, these guys are tearing it up at the gate, and there's got to be something there. And I think once people come to Seattle, they realize it's a pretty nice place. It doesn't rain very often. I think we were at 45 days today without rain or something. And, but I think it's really the fans and the culture of the club and the reputation that the club has built up more so than maybe alone the city. Because even when Red Bull are struggling and when LA was struggling, there was still always an attractiveness to those clubs because of the city, not necessarily from the clubs. Now those clubs are doing better, but with here, the club sort of preceded the city, and then when people come here, they realize this is a nice city as well.
Can you give us some updates on Ozzy and anyone else that may?
Yeah. Ozzy, we just wanted to go easy on today. I mean, he's got to go through the concussion protocol, but he's very low on the scale, so he's taken the thing that he has to do this afternoon, the test, and we assume he's going to pass that, so he should be cleared. But we just wanted to go easy on him today.
How about Andy and David?
Andy's been training, says he feels better each time. Still feels a little bit, the rib is bothering him a little bit, but he feels better every time. And same thing with David. Today was the first time David was with a big group, so we just wanted to put him through the possession game and then pull him out at that point, so we'll push him a little bit further tomorrow.
Just thoughts on facing Chivas already again?
You got to put the last game out of your mind because, you can't base anything now on that game because it starts 0-0 again. It's a new game. And obviously they've shown, with the exception of their game against San Jose, they got 3 goals after being down 3-0 in New England. So they've shown a capacity to be able to score goals. They've obviously allowed goals, and we got to continue to exploit that. But we're just happy to be in our own beds for a week.
Over this stretch, it seems like Eddie, Freddie, Rosales, even Zach Awani have got a lot of attention. How good, though, is Brad Evans playing right now? This is a guy you've been around quite a lot.
Well, he's picked up his game. He's lifted his game. We threw a lot of minutes on him and Ozzy since they both ended up playing the whole game down in Caledonia and pretty much the whole game in Dallas, and as well as the game in Chivas. So, I mean, I think, as with everybody, he, as we brought in competition, he sort of like ratcheted his game up a notch as well. Health-wise, he feels good, which is something that's important for him, because that's what sort of hurt him at different times in the last couple of seasons, is just being in and out of the lineup because of little niggling issues, and with the patella tendon took him out for a while. So, he's playing well right now, and the main thing is, we're getting goals from the sources we expect in Montero and Johnson, but we're also now starting to get goals from Rosales and from, Ozzy and from Brad, and, different people getting goals and contributing, and that just makes our offense more dangerous.
And what was the thinking on leaving Johnson on both legs of the trip?
Well, I mean, we weren't, we left Johansson here as well off the Caledonia part, and, it's been for Eddie, when you look at it, he hasn't really played a full season in a long time, and, we felt that there was a little bit of an adductor strain that wasn't all that serious, but we figured now was a good time to sort of rest him, let him regenerate. He worked hard with Dave last week to, continue to build that base, but it's more because of the fact that this is his first full season back, and I think he's going to be a vital, critical piece for us as we go into the playoffs and we go into this final stretch. So we felt right now was a good time, and we felt, we weren't going to get a week, in there. We didn't have the luxury like Vancouver has, where they rest YP Lee and they have 2 weeks off. So now he's getting a 3-week rest, So with Eddie, we figured this was a time we could throw a week in, because when we go to Portland, then we go to Honduras, and we come back in San Jose, we're going to need him in that 3-game stretch. So this was the only window that we felt we had.
Dave Tenney got the week off. How did you guys handle not having Tenney around?
With us?
Yeah.
It was actually nice. It was pleasant. Didn't have to Omega wave any of the coaching staff, so that was good. He had a reason to be here. He had a new baby, so he's got a baby daughter, Cameron, and, so we're very happy for the Tenney family. And, Chad has been around the team all year, so it was a chance for him to, sort of lead the team and do some of the stuff that Dave normally does on the road. But, Dave was in constant contact with us and with Chad, and we were in contact with him as he prepared his wife to go through the labor. And, so it worked out all right.
They asked me to do an ad, and I thought, cool. They want me because I play for the Seattle Sounders. Then I find out it's because my wife told them I'm a good dad. Even better. For me, being a good father is much more important than soccer. So here's my message. Be a good parent. Stay involved with your kid's life. Do something with them. Anything. Take a walk, read a book, maybe go see a Sounders game. We can make it better for our kids by staying involved and showing that we love them.